What's up, Wilmington? The 910 podcast is about to bring to you your weekly dose of tips, tricks, and hacks, and news and events affecting Wilmington and all of southeastern North Carolina. So take your seats and buckle up because it's going to be a wild ride. And here are your hosts, the Hot Mess Express, Shanny May and Frankie!
What's up, Wilmington? It's the Hot Mess Express. It's Shanny May.
And I am Frankie.
So, Frankie, what's been up this week?
My goodness, what a wonderful hot week. I mean, things have been drying out, and I have been having a good time. What about you?
Other than melting, I have to say I felt like I was going to be the Wicked Witch, a puddle of clothes at some point. But, yeah, we went to the fireworks at Carolina Beach, did a little bit of messing around down there, had a little food, a little drinks. And checked out the rides and the band and did a little people watching. Had a good time. How about you?
So that's what you did this week? Mm-hmm. When did you do that?
Today.
Wow. You had
Look,
exciting
don't
week.
ask if you don't want to know, okay?
So, were the fireworks as good as they were last time?
Yeah, actually, I think the finale was pretty good this time.
So, were you able to find a parking place?
We Ubered. Linda, listen. Linda brought us home. And I don't know the name of the man that took us, but he did ask us when we were having an affair in the back seat with me and my girlfriend. Well, that's what we thought he said, but in all actuality, he said, do y'all have enough air back there?
So he said, do you have enough air?
And she and I looked at each other like, what? Because we thought he said, y'all have an affair back there.
So y'all thought he knew you. Okay.
Well, you know.
And then what was the Linda thing that you were talking about?
Well, you know, everybody's seen the video of the little fella with his cupcakes. To my Linda, listen, look at Linda. And our Uber driver on the way home, her name was Linda. So, you know, we had to do the Linda, listen, Linda. And
Yeah.
she knew what it was, but you didn't. What happened?
Yeah. But I knew enough to see that when we're standing there in the corner, and we're on Lake Shore and right there next to Kate's Pancake House, and I saw this blue car go by, and I was just like, oh, that looks like our Uber driver that should be picking us up. And there was this cop car that was right behind them, like with the lights on, honking the horn. And I was like, I'm pretty sure that was our Uber driver. And then a minute later, she like called from like the next block over, and she was actually probably having a panic attack in the car.
Imagine.
And she was in like the parking lot of a motel, and we walked down to her.
Hey,
so.
she handled it like a champ because he was all up on her behind, blowing the horn, flashing his lights, acting like he was on the way to an absolute emergency, only for us to get in the car and get one block and see him coming back with no lights on. So, must not have been too important.
So you and I have never driven down to the fireworks, but this is the second time we've been there.
It's probably a good thing.
Yeah. So would you recommend that people get an Uber or?
I would say so because parking is pretty tight down there. They block off a lot of the roads close to there, and even where they don't block it off, it is pretty tight unless you turn back to the left and head towards River Road area. Not necessarily all the way to River Road, but back in that way instead of towards the beach. And then there's only parking along the road or kind of in front of people's houses, which even though that's on the other side of the sidewalk and it's not technically their yard, I still feel like I'm parking in their yard when I'm parked there, and I kind of feel weird about it. So, yeah. Not to mention the fact if you have a couple drinks, you need to Uber. Be wise. If you cannot afford the Uber, you can't afford that DUI. Take it from somebody that sells insurance. I promise you, a DUI at the very least, between fees, attorneys, the blow box, you're going to pay $10,000. So you better spend that, $8 for an Uber?
Yeah. And actually, our last one was refunded, so it only cost me $3. So
people, that's what gets me. You see these famous people that have millions of dollars that are charged with a DUI, and it's like, what in the world? I can afford an Uber.
Yeah.
How do you drive yourself around? Can you not? Hire a driver. Don't do that to yourself. It's silly. Don't risk your life and everybody else around you.
And I mean, if you have a driver, then you sit in the back and like text and,
have affairs.
Snapchat.
Have an affair. Excuse me. I'm sorry. Enough air, not an affair.
You can yell at Linda. Well, you're talking about DUIs, and I think that's a very important topic. There was a trooper that was arrested. I believe officially he was arrested and in downtown Wilmington for a DUI, and it ends up that the charges were dropped. Did you read that?
I did. They said they felt like maybe he got some special treatment, but then when they talked to the DA, he was like, oh, they scheduled it on the day that there was, like, there's certain days, I guess they schedule people who don't have a bad driving record versus the days the people that have a past bad driving record or so forth and so on. And apparently his court date was scheduled on the day that the people who do not have a bad driving record were on. And the police officer who took the report did not check that there was bodily injury to the person he hit. So therefore, they were only concerned with the fact that his liability insurance fixed their car and they dismissed it.
I think we're talking about two different cases.
Is it? That was the one I read.
All right, so there was a case where a trooper was downtown and was in his car, and I don't know if someone called on him or if the Wilmington PD just saw him. But here was the problems of the case. The problem was that he did not have keys in the ignition. Mm-hmm. And so part of what I read said that they have to be able to say that you were about to drive, mm-hmm. had driven, or were on your way to drive. And so now where you have keys that don't actually go into any part of the car, that you just have like a fob that starts it, then that kind of eliminates that part.
Right.
And so he was sitting in the driver's seat, and the lights were on in his dash, but there were no keys to be put in his dash because he had a fob.
Okay.
So it was determined, and the car was not running, and it was not running, so he's sitting there, but the lights were on. And so that's why it was end up being dropped. But of course, yeah, people did say that he was getting, special treatment because he was a cop. But I don't think so. I think if he was getting the special treatment, then he would never have been arrested.
Absolutely. I mean, I can honestly say I have drunkenly sat in my car with the air on and not. I mean, and of course, I don't have just a key fob. My key was actually in the ignition in order to make the air on so that I wouldn't suffocate in there. But I was not planning on going anywhere. So I guess if they came up, they probably could have given me a DUI because my key was in there. But in the situation that you have a car that does not have a key and just has a fob, I mean, who's to say that's not what he was doing? Was sitting there with some air just collecting itself.
Yeah. So what the article said that I read said, to take the keys out of the ignition if you have keys, and to get in the passenger seat and, mm-hmm. and sit there. When I was in high school, there was a friend of mine that was arrested for a DUI. Well, here's the whole story. So one of my friends in high school was parked in I think it was a Bojangles parking lot, and of course he'd been out drinking or whatever, and a trooper came up behind him, told him he had to move, and if he didn't move, then he would have to arrest him, take him to jail. And so then my buddy drove and got all the way to his house, and the trooper arrested him. And so that was
the same one. Followed him home and arrested him?
Yep.
Really?
Yep. So, if you're in your car, I think the lesson that I always heard was to take your keys out of the ignition and
throw them in the back seat.
Yep. Or put them in the trunk, or so that there is no question whatsoever whether you're driving or not driving. And so that's a good idea. Look, I don't think that we should make it difficult for people who are not trying to drive. I think we should be more focused on the people that are trying to drive, mm-hmm. Intoxicated. So
appreciate the ones that try to not get out there and harm others.
Exactly. Don't try and coax them into going. And I could see in our town where people where it's slower and they are looking for something to do. So I could see that, but that's still wrong. And they could have ruined that guy's life, and luckily they didn't, because he is a very prominent person in society, and I won't mention his occupation because everybody would know who he is back in my hometown if I said what he did. He's not a garbage man, by the way. So anyway, yeah. So this trooper
There's
was.
nothing wrong with the garbage man, by the way, though.
No, absolutely not. But I just wanted to say that because I didn't want to give away his occupation.
Absolutely.
So yeah, this trooper. I mean, it looked like he was doing the right thing, and I know a lot of people said, "Oh well, you know, he was getting favoritism or whatever," and I don't think that that's the case because if that was the case, he would not have been arrested. And you know, people don't get favoritism from officials higher up than them. They get favoritism from people that are equal to them. So
right.
being that the officers arrested him and took him to jail and they released his information and put him in the news, so I don't think that that's being shown favoritism.
I would have to agree there.
Yeah.
So that's pretty much what anybody else would get at that point.
Absolutely. So that is what we were talking about with DUIs and drinking and driving, and it's smart to take an Uber, and it's so easy now because you use your app and
they're all close to you.
They're all close to you, and there's so many people that are doing it, and just make sure that you protect yourself and that you go with a buddy.
Travel in groups, safety in numbers, people.
Absolutely. So, Shane May, you went to this week's event. You went to the Carolina Beach to watch the fireworks. And were there a ton of people down there?
There was a lot of people down there. We actually went in one place. There was a girl playing her guitar, just acoustic guitar and singing. She was amazing. She was very, very good. It was cool to hear something different, not your average everyday band, that kind of thing. So it was nice to hear that. Then we got to go out, see the fireworks, people watch a little. That's always the best part. There were some interesting sights down there, as always, but we had a great time.
Yeah, Hurricane Alley's always have great service there, and I left a review on, I think, their Facebook page. I might have left a couple because there's a couple of servers there that have always taken really good care of me, and they have been really, really nice. And I think that a lot of times online, people leave negative reviews. They don't leave anything positive. So I definitely try to. And anybody that's listening to us that goes out, before you leave that negative review, make sure that you also have a positive. So if you're one of those people who like to leave reviews, make sure that you're leaving as many positive reviews as you do negatives, at the least. But my mama used to say, if you don't have anything good to say, don't say anything
That's right.
at all. So that's my 2 cents on it.
Absolutely. I see that more often than not, that, like you said, people will leave a negative review in a heartbeat, but they will not go on there and say a good experience. They can't find the time. They're busy. They're this, they're that, they're the other. But like you said, do it both. If you had a good experience, let them know, because they deserve to know that. Those people work hard. It was the first time I'd been to Hurricane Alley's. It was great. The service was great. The food was good. The entertainment was good. I had a great time. And like you said, leave a good review. Anytime you have a good experience, let them know, because if you don't tell them, they don't know. And if all they see is bad, then they feel like, oh my gosh, all I have is negative, but nobody ever says anything good. Well, that's because the people who have a good experience don't take the time to tell them.
No, exactly. When I used to work in the service industry, that happened all the time. And there was a point of time where my salary was based upon the reviews from other people. And that was so difficult because you would work so hard to get there. But then you have people that manipulate the system. And actually, I'll talk about that in here in just a little bit, about manipulating the system. So just to move along and not make this an all-day affair, I'm going to post this tonight, and then I'm going to head up to Mount Airy. So I'm going to keep the things moving as quick as possible.
So we're going to get to see some new Tootie Show episodes.
Yeah.
Woo!
We actually might be going to Tweetsie this weekend.
Oh, wow. Cool. It's been a long time since I've been there.
Did you? You used to go there?
I actually took my son to see Thomas the Train there when he was little, and it was really cool, and he thought it was the most amazing thing. Of course, he's 20 now, and he'd probably die if he knew I was telling you all this. But Thomas the Train came to Tweetsie, and we went all the way up there to see Thomas, and it was really cool. But I can remember my parents taking me as a child, and that was back when they had the roller coaster active on the side of the mountain, which I don't think they actually have that part anymore. But it was really cool, and it always has been, and I love that area, and she will enjoy it.
Yeah, she has never been, and I haven't been since like forever. So we'll see. So actually, today is Thursday that we're recording. I'm going to post this before I leave, but I think that the plan as of now is that Friday we will be heading that way.
Oh, cool.
So it's about 10 o'clock here, I think, right?
I never know what time it is.
Oh my gosh.
Whoop, whoop. I'm turning into a pumpkin in an hour and 10 minutes.
Yeah, so it's...
You better move it along, boo-boo.
So it's 10:50 on Thursday, and I need to be there in the morning to take her. And so we'll see how that turns out, and I'll let you guys know and probably post some pictures. So Tweetsie Railroad, if you all don't know, I've talked to a lot of people this week that didn't even know where it is, but it's up near Boone. And I think it's on the other side of Boone. And that's about an hour and a half away from Mountain Area, which is where I grew up, which is where Tootie lives and my mom lives. So that's quite a ways away here from Wilmington.
It's well worth the ride. It's a good place. It's fun. Hey, and it won't be as humid probably. You'll get a little break.
Yeah, yeah, you're right. So the thing that I did this week was, every Wednesday I do Coffee with a Realtor. And we talked about that last week, and I'm not going to harp on it this week. But I did meet one of my friends, a fellow realtor who is phenomenal. She is one of the coolest people in real estate here. She and I met because we were working on some business deals over the weekend, and we went to Wake and Bake Donuts. Have you ever been there? Mm-hmm. So there's a Wake and Bake here in Carolina Beach, and then there is one in downtown. Do you know of any others?
Is there one out near Mayfair, or is that something else? Seems like I remember there one being, maybe not. I'm not sure. I can't remember. I know I've been to the one down here, but it seems like I did see another location.
Yeah, I know there was another donut place up there. I'm not sure if
maybe
it was a Wake
Ducks
and Bake
or something like that, I think.
Yeah. Well, so I have been there a few times, and they have this cold brew coffee that I love. I think they call it nitro coffee because it's got
super nitro.
Yeah, and it's very creamy, but it's black and it's cold and it's delicious, and I love it. But I've been there a couple times where they didn't have it, so I'm guessing that I'm not sure how it's served, but anyway, so they didn't have it, and then also. And I don't like to say anything bad about any businesses because I know, and we were just talking about reviews and whatever and how important they are. But I'm going to be honest about my experience there since I met someone there. It probably took me close to 30 minutes to get just one coffee.
What in the world?
Yeah, to me, it looked like there was only one person working.
Oh, yeah.
And there was a point in time where she had to go back and brew more coffee, and she just went back and stood there while it was being brewed, instead of coming back around to the corner and saying, hey, can I get you something? What would you like?
Mm-hmm.
And then she had to switch registers at one point. And then the layout in this place is kind of weird because you have to kind of go around the side to get to it. So anyway, I don't want to harp on it, but it just...
it was probably stressing her out too, thinking, oh wow, all these people are standing here looking at me. She didn't know what to do. She's there by herself. So yeah.
Absolutely. And I've been there other times where... And this is about 9:30 on a Wednesday morning. I've been other times where there's been 3 or 4 people in there. So I know, thinking about business-wise, that it's probably hard to staff those. And actually, when we left, I looked, and there was another person that was back there. So anyway, the donuts are fabulous there. I love the different flavors. My favorite there is Dat Goes Fire. And when I went and ordered the last time I was there, Dat Goes Fire, the girl says, "Oh, I know you're all about that spicy stuff because you know the flavor and you know that Goes Fire is hot, and it actually is like the chocolate's made like either a chocolate jalapeno or a chocolate habanero, and it is really hot.
I don't like that hot stuff, Roy.
Oh, I love it, and that's just a tad bit hot, to be honest. But it is really, really good, and it's really unique. And I mean, a lot of the flavors there they have are just unique.
I like the maple bacon.
Yeah. And
Anything
it's
with
really
bacon
good.
on it.
And when she says bakeable bacon, she's not talking about like a bacon flavor. There's like three or four
pieces
pieces
of
of
bacon
bacon that's
on the
top
donut.
Of, yeah. So like the flavors are really unique, and they're definitely worth checking out. So Wake and Bake, I know there's one downtown. There's one at Carolina Beach. So and you know they had made like some very unique donuts that got some press in the news, like the one they made for Willie Nelson and Snoop Dogg when they came into town.
I've seen them over time, just post pictures of different ones that weren't like actually for sale, but that they had made. So like you were saying, yeah.
Right, yeah. Little creation. So I think that is really cool. So that was my experience there with Wake and Bake.
So how's the market been lately?
Well, funny you ask, because while I was at Wake and Bake, I met my friend Gabriella Klontz Huffman. She just got married last year, but and she and I met there because we were working on a deal this past weekend, and she is also an instructor for some real estate courses, and we had just this really fun talk. And I'm going to let her tell everyone how's the market here in Wilmington. So every week I always say, how's the market? And then I give an answer and usually ramble on a little bit. But I'm here with my friend Gabriella Huffman, who just got married last year, and we got a name change. And so I thought I would ask her, Gabriella, so how's the market?
Really good, and I know always brokers say the market's great, the market's hot, but it's actually true. Houses nowadays, I mean, they're selling within 24, 48 hours, so it's great for everybody. It's definitely a seller's market, and the homes that are available are just beautiful. They're move-in ready. They're great.
Yeah, I spoke with someone yesterday, and they bought 6 years ago and paid like $260, and now houses in that neighborhood sell for $407.
Yes, appreciation is definitely happening here, so all of our sellers are very happy with it, and our buyers are happy with it too, even so much so they're even paying more than list price because they want to move here. They want this lifestyle in Wilmington.
So you've been in real estate longer than me. Do you see it lasting? What do you see happening?
Absolutely. So yeah, I've been selling for almost 8 years now. So I've seen, the good and the bad. And I think Wilmington is a great investment because it's very sought out. And the homes here are beautiful. We've got parks, we've got beaches. And so I don't see our little Wilmington going anywhere. I think a lot of people are discovering us and wanting to move here. So we're always going to be booming. This is a great place to definitely call home or invest.
I don't want you to give away your secret sauce, but with it being so competitive, how do you get contracts, especially when you're representing the buyer?
Absolutely. So it is a very competitive market. There's a lot of us, but the key to being successful is to listen to your clients. A lot of agents, they disappear on people, and people don't like that. They want to be respected. They want to have someone to go to with questions and advice, and that's what I do. And that really sells, and that's why I get my referrals from my past clients, because they know how much time I spend with them, and I make sure at the end of the day we get what they're looking for. So I always have a satisfied client.
Wow, that's awesome. So you also are a new mom who's almost a year old.
That's right.
How do you manage all of mom, teaching, real estate, all the things that you do?
Oh, very carefully. It's hard. I definitely give props to all the moms out there, because having a 9-month-old is definitely a full-time job. But being a real estate agent allows me to be a mom and work at the same time. And real estate's not a part-time gig. It's definitely full-time. And Wilmington is just so open to family-friendly and moms, so I'm able to take him with me to showings and to closings, and he has a great time.
Yeah. I think real estate's phenomenal for that reason. I mean, there's not many other professions that you can go and do what we do and take kids along.
Absolutely, and that's what I tell when I teach the real estate classes, that this is a really great career for someone that maybe is looking for a second job or a second life, or those moms out there that are needing some more time to be at home, but also some opportunity to make money. So I definitely encourage anyone that's interested in real estate to look into it. It's a great field.
So how can people find you?
Well, you can find me on Facebook if you like. You can also text me or call me at 910-833-1054. I'm always available. I have a lot of clients that message me on Facebook, that text, that email me. I'm always, whatever way is the best way to communicate with you, I'm always there for you.
Awesome.
And there's Mason.
Hey there.
Say hi.
You smile. All right. Well, thank you very much. And there you go.
So that was pretty cool to hear Gabriella talk about, how's the market and get another realtor's, opinion on real estate here in the area.
Yeah. Well, Frankie, I don't know what it is, but you seem a little salty this week. What's up?
Well, I am a little salty, and okay, if I'm going to be honest, I'll tell you why. Look, I don't like to burn bridges, and I don't like to lighting any fires, but I'm going to say this, and so this week I was on Facebook and I saw a real estate company post something that said, vote for one of our agents as the best realtor or broker. I'm not sure how it was worded, but vote for one of our brokers as the best broker here, and tag the Star News and blah 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 blah. And I just thought, wow, that is so weird that this company is putting that out on their social media and saying that. And let me tell you why it bothers me. Okay, so that bothers me because I didn't get an invite.
Right.
Yeah, and so no one told me, oh, well, Frankie, we're having this best broker, best realtor competition, or else maybe I would be doing some things that are different. And then, secondly, what is the criteria that they're using to judge this? Mm-hmm. And look, Star News, if you're listening to anybody that works there listening, no, I'm not knocking you all. I'm just knocking this whole process of how did you pick the top five or however many people are in it. And I don't subscribe, but the first time I saw it was on social media, it was on Facebook. So I'm just curious, what's the criteria to be the best realtor or best broker in this area? So are you judging it based on sales? Are you judging it based on a popularity? Because to me it seems like there was a certain number that were picked as possibility, of being, the top. And then now they're trying to get people to go to this website and vote and whatever. So are we voting for the best realtor, or are we voting for the most popular realtor? And then, here's my other question. So my other question is this: are the companies paying, or are these agents paying to be in consideration for this? Because if that's the case, then it's totally bogus, right?
Right.
None of that matters whatsoever if you have to pay to be in consideration. But to say, oh, the area is being voted as the area's best realtor, then I think we need to establish what qualifies a person to be the best realtor. And I'm going to tell you, and this is my opinion, that it's not the number of houses you sell. It's not the number of clients that you have. It is the level of service that you give. And that's my opinion. And you can say, oh, well, Frankie, it's sour grapes. Mm-hmm. But I don't think so.
I have to agree.
Because there's no one talked to me about it. No one said, oh, Frankie, what did you do? And I won't go into what I did to help my clients out and my stats and my numbers and blah, 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 blah. But I'm just telling you, if you're going to say the area is best, then why don't you just say this is how we're judging these people? And I'm only saying this directly to Star News. And congratulations to whoever wins. I'm sure they're a wonderful realtor. But I'm just telling you, Star News, if you are having a contest like this and you're not establishing any kind of numbers or criteria to do that, then you're making a bogus contest just so that you can have people subscribe and read your material. And I'm going to tell you that is BS.
It is.
It actually discredits your newspaper.
Well, not even that, but I know exactly what you're talking about because I've seen it myself. And it's like through August 14th or something like that you can vote. and they have like the best service places. They have the best bakeries, the best restaurants, the best, different things. And I agree with you wholeheartedly. It is based around that social media, and whoever has the most followers that go in there and vote every day is who's going to win, not necessarily who is truly the best.
Right. So it's like some of the people that I saw in the real estate are people that I couldn't get a call back from. Some that I've heard my own clients complain about that I've been done deals with. And so when I saw that, and I try not to get salty, but here's what I think, and then this is the idea that I came up with. I said, you know what? Shani Mae's in a different occupation than I am. I'm in real estate, and we both do this podcasting, and we love talking about our area. But how about this? How about once a month, you and I get together, we will pick a topic or a category, and we'll talk about our top fives, and we will debate them, and then we'll just put them out there. So no one can influence us one way or another of, what it is. So maybe one week we might do top 5 restaurants. Maybe another week, top 5 day getaways. Maybe we'll do top 5 beaches in the area. Terry, you have any suggestions? Top 5s?
For the area? Top 5 in? Yeah, local hangouts.
Local hangouts. And so we'll do a top 5 the first weekend of every month, the first Thursday. We'll record it, and then we'll have it out on that Friday. And there will be no influence, so no matter how much money that you send us. And
you're not gonna sway this one.
and feel free to try, because we'll take your money.
I know, right?
Yeah, but we won't. It'll be our honest opinion one way or the other. And if you have any suggestions on topics or areas that you'd like for us to talk about, we'll be happy to do that. You can contact us on our social media, and everything is simple. It's 910pod or at 910pod or 910pod@gmail.com if you want to email. And our phone numbers are out there as well. So you can feel free to reach out to us. But that's what I feel. I feel like these contests that these people spend all this money on, that there's a motive and a means behind it. And if there's anyone that really wants to know who's the best and why they're the best, then feel free to look me up on social media, and you'll see me defend my cause of why I am the best. And that's my opinion, because I save people an average of $4,000 every time I sell a house, because I list for 1/3 of what the other brokers are going to charge people. And that's it. And I'm happy to do it, and I'm happy to help people. This week I just helped this family, and when you got here tonight, I just finished writing them a card and addressing it. And these folks, I listed their house at kind of the end of June, and we just closed, today's Thursday? Yesterday. We just closed yesterday on this house, so that's August 8th. So 27 days, this house is on the market. Less than 60 days, it was closed and done with. And these folks, it was the first house they bought. And when I met them, the wife was about 10 months pregnant. She was about to bust, and she had her baby on July 4th, and they were the most awesome couple. And I think the husband sort of relayed to me and said, it was hard for us to not use the person that helped us buy this house. And I get that. But what he got was, look, Frankie is going to do the same thing for me that any other broker is going to do. And at the end of this transaction, and it was hectic, it was chaotic, because and I don't want to say too much, but I will say this, because the people who were buying were from a different market. They were not from Wilmington, and they did not understand the Wilmington real estate market and how hot it was. They thought that they could come in and lowball and get a good deal, and that wasn't the case, because I knew, the homeowners knew what the house was worth, what it would sell for, and I also knew what they would have to do during the due diligence process and request. So, and I'm going to stop talking about myself, but really, here's what I want to say. I am a phenomenal realtor, and I can say that in confidence because I know that there are many sacrifices that I make in my personal and daily life to help other people. And the last thing that's on my mind when I go into a listing appointment or a buyer's agency appointment is the last thing that's on my mind is how much money I'm going to make. Because I honestly don't care about that. I care about helping those people reach their goals. And then the money is the last thing that I ever even think about. One of my friends that's in real estate asked me last couple weeks ago when we went out to lunch, how much was my AGI? What was my AGI last year? And I don't even know what she means, or ACI. I don't know what those acronyms mean because they mean nothing to me. I don't care about my commission. Here's what I care about. I care about helping people. And I think that her question didn't intend to make me feel like I was dumb, but I said to her, look, I gave away 1/3 of my commission last year. 1/3 of my commission, I gave it away. The commission that I got put in the bank, I gave 1/3 of it away. So I'm telling you, there is no other realtor in this area that gives away and donates and helps people as much as I do. And does that make me a better realtor? I'm going to say yes, it does. Because I don't worry about the money that I'm going to make. I worry about how much it's going to save other people. I worry about how much I can help people. And if you go to my Facebook, you'll see that I helped out companies like Smile Train, Vigilant Hope, Cape Fear Rescue League, Cape Fear Literacy Council. I try and keep money here if I can and help out local charities. So I'm going to wrap this up with Star News. Shame on you for having this contest of the best realtor when you don't establish the criteria of what is the best realtor. You are doing this to get people to subscribe and to like your social media and to contact you. And I saw that, and that's pretty evident.
I think it's also there so they can collect people's email addresses because they make you put your email address in to vote, but you're allowed to vote once a day, which I think is ridiculous. You should be able to vote once and that be the end of it. You should not be able to go in every day between July whatever and August 14th and vote every single day towards that same person as you.
Yeah, why don't we do that for like the presidency?
No kidding. How does that work?
Exactly.
So yeah, ours on our page, you will be able to go in, you like it, you vote one time, that's you, that's it, that's your vote, and you like that one person and that's it.
But I'm going to say thank you, Star News, because now we're going to have a very nice, new, fun, refreshing segment where we're going to talk about the top fives. You're going to have a different top five than I have a top five. We're going to debate them, and that is going to be one entire episode, and it will be the first podcast of the month. And that's what we'll do. And I think that will be a lot of fun for people. And we want to hear from the people that are listening to us on some topics and ideas that they want to hear us debate, and we want to hear your opinions. So tell us if you have a bad experience at this place, then we definitely want to hear it. And so the last thing I'm going to say about real estate, I'm sorry that I went for so long. I feel like I went for like 30 minutes, but so we're talking about reviews and things on Facebook, and we were talking about Star News and trying to get people and whatever. So I was looking at a company that I used to work with, and I went to their Facebook page, and I would see occasionally so-and-so reviewed this company. So-and-so reviewed this company. You ever seen that pop up? Yeah. So I decided to go and see what they said.
What the reviews were.
Right. Because, if you are a real estate broker with a firm and you go and you review that page, are you saying, hey, this is a great place to work? Or are you saying this is a great place to buy or sell real estate? And so I went and looked, and there wasn't that many reviews that were there. But there were a lot of the reviews that were from brokers or people that worked in the office who didn't say, I work here and this is a great place to work. Now, to me, that is absolutely misleading. And I think that it's wrong. And I want to say to that big company, shame on you for doing that and encourage people to go and give you a review. If they're going on there and they're giving you a review, they should say, I work here and this is an awesome place to work.
Right.
But they shouldn't
purchase something and it was a great experience.
Exactly. And so they shouldn't be very nebulous. They should be very clear about the reviews. Now, do the reviews matter? Some people care. Some people don't. Some people, realize that most people are going to give a negative review, and there were some negative reviews that were on there, and whether they're, any were deleted or not, I don't know. But I did see two that were on there that were like from clients and customers. So that's my other point about the reviews on social media is that, look, if you're a company and you're telling your people that work there to go on and review you, their reviews should not say, oh, this is a great place, or they were great selling property with, or whatever. They should be honest, because there's a big difference. You're not going to, if you're working at a place, if you're working at Walmart, you're not going to go on Walmart Monkey Junction and give them a bad review, because you'll probably get fired.
Right.
So anyway, that's the other thing too that I saw while I was looking all this up about it. So, shame on these companies that are doing these things, but it's good for you all that listen to us, and you get to hear us talk about things that we like and the areas that we like. And so every month we'll have the top 5, and we'll have a good, nice little friendly debate, because I'm sure that we were, differ in some of those things. And since you live in the northern part, of the area, and I live in the southern part, we'll probably talk about some
Southside represent.
Yeah. So I'm super excited about it, because I think it's going to bring like a lot of fun.
Yeah, absolutely. And then it gives a chance for them to have an actual fair review.
Yeah, and so this coming
Not
week,
a popularity contest.
well, and that's what they should say. So they should say the area's most popular realtor instead of the area's best. Realtor.
Mm-hmm.
So this coming week, are there any events that you're excited about?
There is a play at my old alma mater, Cape Fear Academy, Saturday, and actually it's Friday and Saturday at 7:30, and then Sunday at 3 it's still Magnolias. I don't know about you, because you're a man and all that good stuff, but Weezer's my girl, and I love that movie, so gotta go see that. Let's see, it's Saturday and Sunday, and the Thalian Hall Community Theater is presenting it, but Cape Fear Academy is where it will be. And they come on down to Truby's Beauty Salon in Chinkapin, Louisiana. I didn't realize there was a Chinkapin there like there is here, but even in watching the movie, I never thought about it that way. But
Do you know what a Chinkapin is?
What?
I
just know where it is. I don't know what it is.
So Chinkapin is a type of tree.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
I did not know that.
Yeah.
No.
It's a tree that has like a kind of a nut that has like spurs on it. That's kind of sharp.
Well, that's pretty interesting. But you can get your tickets at thalian.org. So they are selling the tickets for that. Other than that, if it's not raining, I think I'm going to try to get some vitamin D, because I am in desperate need of some sunshine. I'm shiny. You can almost see my heartbeat when I take my shirt off. It's time to get some sun.
Hot Mess Express. Yeah, okay.
Well,
So like I said, I'll be out of town part of this week. But, there were a couple of different local businesses that contacted us on Facebook at 910pod. What's Up Wilmington is the title. And so I just want to mention those and talk about what they've got going on. And one of those is Seagrass Salon and Day Spa. And they tagged us in the post, and I shared it, and it looks like they are doing absolutely awesome work. The picture that they posted was really early in the morning. It was 9:15. So I don't know that I've ever met anyone that does hair that early.
I'd have to say that was probably the day before, but balayage said that's a good job. That was pretty.
Yeah. Well, and they even said Monday, and the person's name was Kelly, and so she's at Seagrass Salon and Day Spa. So you can look her up on Facebook. That's how she found us, and that's how you can find her. And the picture was absolutely awesome. And kudos to her and whoever she got to get their hair done that early. That's awesome. So thank you for the shout out there. Now the other one is something that might raise a few eyebrows, and that one is the Dirty Dolls Burlesque. And that is
Hey, that's my kind of stuff now. Not to let all my secrets out, but go girls.
Yeah, well, and that's Saturday, and I'm sorry I won't be in town for that. And that's at the Juggling Gypsy. Have you ever been there?
I've only been there once, but it was briefly, so yeah, it wasn't for like a show or anything. It was just a dip in, dip out, meet a friend kind of thing. So it's kind of late day. It wasn't night yet, so I don't know exactly what their nighttime stuff is about, and I don't want to speak out of turn, but it's easily accessible. It's right off of Castle and 16th?
16th, 17th, and it is over by the ABC store in that area in between 16th and 17th. And I'll tell you, like, I really think that they are something that is a credit to this community. They're something the community needs because they are off of the beaten path. They are. So I remember I came here to visit, I want to say in 2005, could have been 2004, but I think it was 2005. I moved here at the end of 2005, so I think it was somewhere in 2005. But anyway, I met one of the girls that worked there, owns it or something, and they were downtown at Market and Front, and they were doing some little tricks out there. They're very hippie-ish. And I thought that was really cool that they were out there on the street, kind of doing street magic sort of things. And when I moved here, I went there a couple times, and it is a very laid-back place that it's not food, so it's more like bar and entertainment kind of. And I went there maybe 2 months ago, and I've always had a good time. There's always some type of thing going on. And so one of the things that I thought that was really neat while I was there the last time was there were people outside, and they weren't performers that were performing, but there were people that were practicing for performing. So you're out there, and you might could get a bite to eat, a wrap, roll up, or whatever. I don't think it's a full service restaurant, but you go out there and get a bite to eat, and you sit and you can hang out, and you can watch these people practice twirling fire around. And I think that's really cool.
That was the one time I went, was to see my friend do the fire thing. So yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, and then they have like the weighted hula hoops, and then they have a bunch of different things. And you'll see these people practice it, and it's really neat to do that instead of just sitting in a restaurant and looking out the window at cars going by. So I think it's a really cool place to go, and it's something that's unique, and there's no other business in the area that is like Juggling Gypsy. And let me see if I can get the address real quick.
I know it's Castle, but I can't remember the exact.
Yeah, it's 1612 Castle Street. And so this event that shared our page, they're called Dirty Dolls Burlesque, and that is Saturday, August the 11th, and that starts at 10 p.m. and the admission is $15. So that's 15, not 50. So
I'm here to tell you, watch those girls do that stuff is worth $15, because that is, look, you judge all you want, but there's some strength involved in what they're doing.
Yeah, absolutely. So I mean, it is something that's off the beaten path. It's not something that people normally do. So anyway, go give it a try, and well, that is it for this week, Shani Mae. What about any sponsors? We got any sponsors we need to think?
Well, we've got Mermaid Kisses Photography. We always do any kind of photos you need, big or small, weddings, personal, individual, all that you need. You can contact us on Facebook at Mermaid Kisses Photography or give us a call at 910-231-8609. How about you?
Well, so of course, as always, Frankie Seagrass Real Estate, and you can look me up on Facebook or Twitter, wherever, and it's Frankie, Frankie, last name Seagrass, Sechrist. We also want to thank Seagrass Salon and Day Spa, and they are over at 710 Military Cutoff, and that looks like it is near the Mayfair area, and that is 28405. Their phone number 910-799-3207, and you can find them on Facebook. That's how they found us. And also the Dirty Dolls Burlesque, and it's not a dirty show, even though it says dirty, whatever. It's the Juggling Gypsy, and if you haven't checked that place out, go swing by. You don't have to go on Saturday if you think that the Dirty Dolls are going to be too dirty for you. It'll be a fun, entertaining show. And so that is over at 1612 Castle Street. I also want to give a big thanks to Gabriella Huffman for speaking with me and giving our listeners, her take on how the real estate market is doing in Wilmington. And she is an amazing realtor, and I am so thankful that she is in our profession, because she honestly makes all of us other realtors look good. She is so professional and works so hard for her clients. So she is a huge credit to our industry. And I mean that from the bottom of my heart. And I would recommend her to absolutely anyone. And, again, I'm just very thankful that she took the time to speak with us. And you can hear that she knows her stuff. She teaches real estate courses, and that came out just a little bit in our interview. So, yeah, she's absolutely amazing. Thank you so much, Gabby, for speaking with us. And that is it for me and us. We're excited for next week. We'll talk about a bunch of other events that are going on in the area. Look, please share this podcast. It is one of the few podcasts that's in this area that talks about this area and talks about what's going on in the area, and that's what we want it to be. If you know someone that wants some advertising, please contact us at 910pod, P-O-D, at gmail.com, and we'll be happy to talk to you about those advertising opportunities. And I assure you that we are more than affordable, and we could even do some trade outs where you don't have to pay us anything. Just give us some of your goods and services, and you will spread the love. And make sure you share us, because we're looking to get the name of this area and these companies that are here out. We were both from here, love this place, and that's
It's all about keeping it local.
Absolutely. So we can't do anything for the people in California. We can't do anything for the people in Japan, but we'll tell you the people that are here. We'll share your information.
Thank you for joining us on this journey. Make sure to tell your friends to check out our webpage at 910.com and to subscribe to the podcast on your favorite podcast platform. If you take a minute and leave us a 5-star review, that really helps other people find us. If you're interested in becoming a sponsor of the show, email us at 910pod@gmail.com. And make sure you follow us on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram at 910pod. Stay safe. We'll see you next week right here on What's Up, Wilmington, the 910 podcast.
And that's the Hot Mess Express, boys and girls.
Thank you all for listening. I hope you all had a good time. And look us up on social media.
Good night.
Bye.